Here's the most expensive whip in my collection. It is an Australian stock whip made by champion whip maker Peter Thorndike. It is made from kangaroo leather to the theme of the famous poem The Man from Snowy River by Banjo Patterson. So Peter has put a lot of work into both designing and building this whip. You can see he has plaited the man from Snowy River into the thong, and he has also plaited several scenes from the poem into the handle, such as the colt from Old Regret, the wild mob of brumbies, and even the man from Snowy River himself into the handle. So to get that kind of detail, he had to use 72 strands in the handle, and he put 32 strands in the thong. The whole thing took about 300 hours to make, for a total price of 10,000 Australian dollars, or about 7,000 American dollars. And of course, I'm gonna crack it. You might think, oh, I'm a little nuts to crack it. But actually, first, when Peter made this and he took it to the competitions, so many people were afraid to touch it, but he had to handle the whip for 300 hours to make it, so he spent a lot of time touching it. And also, when whips are judged in competitions in Australia, and this did win a championship, they are judged 50% on how they look, but also 50% on how they crack. So the judges did have to crack this whip, so it was made to be cracked. And I'd say definitely Peter set a very high standard for artistry in whip making. And now I'll show you some close-ups of the whip itself. Now that you've had a chance to see some of the detailed shots of the whip, I will say a little bit about how it was braided. So the thong was braided, I say, in the normal fashion, where you put the whip on a hook or in a vise and then work each strand around individually. But the handle is made in a method known as the Fib Method, I would say. So basically what you do is you take all of the light colored strands and you wrap them around the handle and then kind of hold them down with a rubber band or another string. And then using a fid and like a lacing needle, you take each dark strand and work it through, and you go along and you braid your pattern that way. So it wasn't like you had a whole mess of strands like this. Half of them were firmly wrapped around the handle, and that's about the only way you can keep everything square and neat when you start working with this many strands in the handle. And I can also mention, you see the handle tapers. The strands themselves do not taper. So this part of the handle here is 72 strands, and this lower part is actually only 48 strands. And you can see it in the camera there. He's got some horseshoes in there, which are very nice. And he also signed the whip in his plaiting. I forget what it says. It's something, it's his initials and then Roman numerals for the year that he made it. They finished it in 2016. So I'll go ahead and crack it again. My name is Adam Winrich. Thanks for watching.